the historical happenings in the Anglo-Saxon time period.
In 410, barbarians attacked the British Isle from 3 sides, the Irish from the west, Picts from the north, and German tribes from the east, which included the Anglo-Saxons and the Jewels. Kings emerged to rule different kingdoms within the former Roman province in 449 AD. Anglo-Saxons devised a poetic device common in Old Norse called a kenning, where unusual compound expressions replace words. Anglo-Saxons developed their own language around 597 when Christian missionaries arrived with a wide variety of Latin language. The language adapted and scribes with no system of spelling wrote words the way they sound. The days of the week were developed from Anglo-Saxon paganism. Tuesday from Tu, Wednesday from Woden, Thursday from Thor, and Friday from Frigg. Viking raids began in 787 AD and continued periodically until the 11th century. The Danes took out most of the eastern England and remained in power until the Anglo-Saxons struck back under Alfred the Great. The Normans conquer in 1066, William of Normandy invades England, and the French is established as the main language, and as opposed and English becomes a truly trilingual language.
Culture, economic situation, and lifestyle.
Anglo-Saxons were mainly farmers and lived in family units and villages. They lived next to seas and rivers and built many wooden ships to trade and travel. The Anglo-Saxons were not Christians, though. They were pagans worshipping many gods and goddesses. The arrival of St. Augustine in 597 converted them out of the country mostly Christianity.
You bored yet? Wake up! We still got a little bit more to go. Most Anglo-Saxon Norman kings were unable to communicate in English, though some were used as swear words. The Anglo-Saxons effectively replaced Roman stone building with their own, where wood was the main building material. The Anglo-Saxon kingdom was divided into 4 main parts. The kingdom of Wessex was the only kingdom to survive the Viking raids.
Prominent authors. Whoa, did you hear? Let me tell you about it. Stories wrote in the Anglo-Saxons, like Beowulf, which is the most famous children would tell each other days at a time. The story entailed a prince who slayed a man-eating Grendel, and then its horrid mother as well. The story was told for a long time, but was actually wrote down in the 8th and 9th century. Another story that was largely known was the legends of King Arthur. Arthur was wrote many times the first time, and it was wrote by a man named Nennius, but he made it to where King Arthur fought 12 battles, which is impossible for one man, and the battles cannot be found in history. The second author was Welsh, who shot the story of King Arthur from some Celtic warrior to a mythical hero of the world. The final author is Geoffrey of Monmouth, and wrote the history of the kings of Britain, which was just how King Arthur came to be.
In other news,
I'm sorry to cut you off like this on live TV.
That's okay.
I gotta go do something. I'll be right back.
Alright. Well, until my colleague returns, I will be finishing the story. And the story is The Holy Grail. But this story wasn't written by any author. No, this was written in Anglo-Saxon time by none other than Trittin de Troyes. And he was pleasant enough to give us the unfinished part of his poem. Now, I will be reading this, and we'll see how it takes. A girl came in, fair and comely and beautiful adorned. And between her hands she held a grail, and she carried that grail in a hall, was sufficed by a light so brilliant that the candles lost their brightness. So do the moon or stars when the sun rises. After her came another girl bearing a silver trencher. The grail was made of the finest, purest gold, and in it was set precious stones of many kinds, and the richest and most precious in the earth or the sea. This story carried out through the ages, and we do not know how he was going to finish it, or if he will finish it. But until then, this is Troy News, and good night.
Thank you.